Hey guys, Amy here with Leap of Faith Crafting. Thanks so much for stopping by. So today we are going to be doing a new tumbler video. I haven't done one in a while, and PYD Life reached out to me and asked if I wanted to try out their tumbler press, and I said, of course. I've been really wanting to try one of these tumbler presses. That's a full wrap. I do have my tutorial with a Cricut mug press of doing it, but it's just a lot of rotations and a lot of turns. That one still works, but this one, you can do it a little bit quicker because it only needs 1 to 2 presses and it presses all the way around. We're gonna make a few tumblers today. I have some glitter, very pretty glitter skinny tumblers, and then some glass cans and glass skinny tumbler. So this is the machine pretty much right out of the box. We're gonna go through how to change the different heaters because it comes with 2 different heaters here for different size tumblers. Between these 2 heaters, you can do a good amount of tumblers and mugs, even put 2 mugs in one if you want. This is the Pro Max. There is a larger one to even do the larger size tumblers if you're interested in that. So these are things, these 2 came in the box along with the machine, but you can purchase them separately. So you're gonna need some tumbler sublimation blanks. So I will put the links for all of these below. Sublimation paper and your sublimation printer. I will link the video below on how I converted mine to a sublimation printer, one of the Epson EcoTanks. And then I use some rubbing alcohol and a paper towel to get the tumblers clean before I press, and then some heat resistant gloves. These are super important when using this press because it gets really hot. The outside of it, all the blue part, does not get hot to the touch, but these heating plates where you have to slide things in and out definitely get hot. So you want your gloves, okay? And then some butcher paper, Teflon paper, something to protect the press, and some heat resistant tape. Okay, so I'm going to show you first how to switch the heaters in and out. And then I'm going to show you real quick how I size and print things for the full wrap tumblers. And then we're going to cut some out and make a few. Okay, so make sure you hit that subscribe button below so you don't miss any videos. And let's get started. Okay, so this is the machine here with one of the heaters already inside of it. I just wanted to show you how to quickly change the heaters first before we do anything, because you want your machine nice and cool. So here is the handle that you would press for it to shut, and these things right here are the pressure knobs. So you will turn them kind of equally to the right to loosen, and then to the left to tighten. You'll see that the bars kind of move in. So that's something that we will play with too. So to change it, all you need to do is unplug this from, this is usually plugged in the side here. You're going to unplug that, and then we're going to take all of these screws out. So once all of those are out, this actually just slides right out. Okay, and then you can switch it and put in your other one. So then to put it in, just going to push that in and make sure that those line up with the holes. And screw these back in. So if you have one of the smaller ones that's just for the mug, you'll probably want to put it right just on the middle side so that you get an even press. Okay, and then we are going to plug this into the side. So You just push it in so those prongs go, and then just turn this. Okay, so another thing we want to do before we start the machine up is to check the pressure of the tumbler we're going to do. So you can see this is the smaller one, and if I were to put this tumbler in, you see that it doesn't cover a lot of it there. So, but this one is good for this one that's smaller there. Okay, so for this, I'm just going to put it in here and actually close this and see how the pressure is. So it wasn't too hard to close, and I can move this around, so the pressure is not tight enough. So I need to tighten that. So I'm going to move them both to the left. And you'll have to play with it, but you can kind of see that you want this to stay, you know, parallel to this, because you can do one a lot and it'll be lopsided. So you just kind of want to move it until there's a little bit of make sure it's snug in there, and it gives you a little bit of pushback when you're okay. So I think that is pretty snug in there, and you will see that there is still a few centimeters showing there, and that is why we're going to have to turn it and press it again halfway. One of them I didn't turn it around, and you can see that there is that line down the middle of where it doesn't turn all the way around. But if you only have an image that's just on the front, then you just need to press it once on that side. So it's just for the full wraps. You want to make sure that you turn it around. Okay, so now we have the pressure set, everything's set. So now we're going to turn on the machine. We are going to turn on the machine there, and this is how we do the settings. So for to change the temperature and to change the timer, you're going to hit set, and the first one that pops up is the temperature, and you can push the up or down ones here, and I'm going to leave it at 356 and hit set. And then this is our time, the second one, and you can again use the arrows to up it. Since we are doing the stainless steel tumbler, my directions say to leave it at 60, so I'm just going to keep that at 60 and hit set again. Okay, so that is all ready. That's all I need to do to the front, and then we're just going to let this heat up and get our tumbler ready. Okay, so I just wanted to show you how I print out mine. So this is going to vary a lot depending on what software you like to use, what type of computer you have, your printer settings, all that kind of stuff. But I just wanted to go through kind of my step on how I do it, but I know everyone probably has their own way, but I like to use Canva. So it's just Canva, and I actually already have some ones saved for the size that I like for my tumblers. So I printed these out. I measured my tumbler with a measuring tape and printed a few out on my black and white printer and kind of figured out a size that I really liked for mine. So for my tall, skinny ones, the one that works best for me is 9.8 by 8.5 inches. And all you need to do is come up to create a design up here, and you can do a custom size. And then we're going to do this in inches and just type in 9.8 by 8.5 and hit create new design. So this just opens up the exact size that I have for my skinny tumbler. So then I'm going to go into uploads, and you can click on upload file. And then in here, I have a bunch that I downloaded from Creative Fabrica, and I will link these all below. But I'm going to be using the Flamingo one. So I'm just going to click on this and click on the straight and open to upload it. And then I'm just going to click and drag it, and it just automatically fills that up. So I can double click on it. And if you had a really big one, you could move it around a little bit if you want it more centered, things like that, and drop the size so it fits perfectly. If you have something that's directional or with words, you are going to want it printed on a mirror setting or that it's flipped. This one, I don't care which way it goes because it doesn't have any words or anything on it, but I also like to do that in here. So if I did want to flip this, I would just come up here, right here it says flip, and then flip horizontal, and that will give me my mirror setting. Okay, so it really doesn't matter which way I do it, but anything with words, you want to do that, or you want to print it and change your printer settings to mirror setting. That is the other option to do. Okay, so once I have this, I am just going to title this Flamingo Tumbler. And then I click on share and I am going to download it. And I do PDF print, best for printing, but there's the option of the JPEG and the PNG. I find if I print save it as a PNG, it still doesn't save the size. You definitely can do that and figure out on your printer settings how to make the size exactly how you wanted it. So the ones that just have a full pattern, you definitely can just print a full page and then just cut them to what you need it with scissors instead of trying to figure out all this of how to get it the right size. But I'm just going to do PDF print, and then I do CMYK, which is best for professional printing. This is actually a pro thing here. So I have a pro account. You might want to play around and see which one works best for you. So I'm just going to do that and click on download. Once that pops up, I'm going to open it, and then I'm going to go. So my printer settings, again, like I said, this is going to be different for everyone. So this is why it's hard to kind of show you this on mine, but I just want to show you a way that you can do it. So I'm using my Epson 2850 there. And on my settings, I just select default. So default is the size that it actually is that I had saved it for. If I were to fit this to paper, it will move it around. If I fit to printable area, then it shrinks it. So I want to set it as default and leave it exactly how I had it. Okay, so I'm going to send this to the printer and print this out on my Sublimation. Just to show you, if you were to do just a small image, like this one I'm going to do, the sunflower gnome. So this is just a PNG by itself already. So this I don't really need to do anything for because it's not a full wrap. So I can come in here and actually print from this. And what I am going to do is actually change the photo size to, you can do it 2x3. But you see it cuts that off. So I actually want this to shrink to fit. So it's going to shrink there. So now I get the whole thing. So now I can change the photo size. The photo size, I can do a 2.3, 2x3 inch by the wallet, or a little bit bigger, a 3.5 by 5. I think I'm going to do that to put on the can. Okay, and this, like I said, doesn't have directionality, so I don't need to worry about if it's mirrored or not. And then I'm just going to print this from here. So I don't need to do anything with Canva or anything like that. Since it's just an image, I can size it just right in here. So just another quick tip if you're just doing images on it. Okay, so I'm going to print these things out, and then we're going to start sublimating the tumblers. Okay, so now we're going to get our tumblers ready. So I am going to be doing this skinny 20-ounce glitter one, and then we're going to do a glass can. So first thing I do is I just use some rubbing alcohol and clean the tumblers. Okay, so this just helps get any grime or grease or anything that might be on them. Mine are brand new, so I'm not expecting that, but just to be sure. And then I am going to trim my paper here. So I like to use a paper trimmer to make sure my lines are nice and straight. and I just actually trim one of mine, and then this one will go over on top of it. Okay, and so I have my bottom trimmed, so I know that that is nice and straight. So now this is going to wrap around. I'm just going to get it as snug as I can. You can also hold it up here so you to make sure it is very straight on that bottom. And then I'm going to be using heat resistant tape. And we're going to tape that down. Okay, so now that it's on it, I will put one on the bottom just to make sure that it doesn't rotate on me. And then I'm going to tape all of it. Okay, so I made sure that white tab was on top of it. Okay, and then to protect the actual heat press, I am going to wrap this in butcher paper. And tape that on. Okay, so my press is at 356 and it's already set for 60 seconds. So I have my guide here that has my stainless steel skinny tumbler, the 356 Fahrenheit or 180 for 60 seconds. And then actually has the pressure here to low, medium. Okay, and I just want to make sure that this was actually even. Okay, so now I'm going to put on my heat resistant gloves here, and I'm going to put it in with the tape side up so I know when I rotate it that the tape will be down. So I'm just going to slide it in there and close. As soon as I close that, the timer automatically starts. So anytime you press it shut, it starts. So once it hits the 60 seconds, it will beep and I will have to open it. And then I'm going to rotate it down and we're going to press it again. And this is smelly doing this stuff, so you want to make sure you're near a ventilated window. Okay, so it beeped. So I'm going to open it. And then I'm going to rotate it so that part is on the bottom. Stick it back in the middle. Oh God. And close it. Okay, open that and take this one out. And I put it on my heat mat, because if I just put it on this, it actually does warp it a little bit because it's so hot. So I am going to change for this one, it actually is the same diameter. So I'm going to leave the pressure and everything alone. And this one says it needs it at 280. It does say medium pressure, so I might tighten it a little bit, but I'm just going to change my setting up here. Just push set twice because I'm leaving it at the same temperature, and I'm going to push this up to 280. Okay, and press set again. Okay, and then I'm going to tape this on here. I already cleaned it, and this one doesn't overly matter if it's super straight, but I know I have a straight bottom, so I'm going to try to line that up with the bottom there. I'm taping it on all 4 sides. I do not want this moving. Okay, and I'm gonna just push the pressure up just a little bit. Because I knew it worked in that last one. I wanted it a little bit stronger and they're the same diameter. Or usually you would do the thing at the beginning where when it's cool you'd put it in. But you'll kind of start figuring it out as you play with it. And then again, I'm going to wrap this in butcher paper just to be safe. Okay, so if I look in there, I know my design is over here. So that is the part that I want on the bottom, because I only need to actually press this once. Okay, so I'm going to slide this in here. Get it so it's in the center there, and press it closed. Okay, and again, this starts counting down for the 280 seconds. So while that is counting down, we are going to remove this because I'm just not a very patient person. So when you have the gloves, you can remove them a little bit sooner than you can obviously if you have nothing. So get that butcher paper off, and then, ooh, you can see how pretty it is already. Oh, look how pretty she is. So see that glitter that comes through because it was a glitter tumbler underneath it. Then everything pressed, so there is just kind of that overlap right where they meet. But so pretty. This was the other one that I did with a glitter one, and you could also add like a monogram in here or a name or something when you're designing it to make it more personalized. This was a glass one I did with the dolphin. I love how this came out. So pretty. Basketball mom. One of these. And then this cute little gnome. 4th of July. And then we will take a look at this. We still have 115 seconds, but when it's done, we will remove that and take a look at that one. Okay, so that is beeping. I'm gonna lift that up. Okay, and remember it's only on the one side, so I don't have to press it twice. I'm gonna take and there we have him. Cute little gnome, so cute. So the one thing about the full wraps, when you actually have to rotate and press them again, is that anytime you're pressing twice, the color kind of dulls a little bit. So when you're applying extra heat to it. So you can see like this one is super vibrant and colorful because I didn't do that back side. But this one got a little bit duller, if you can tell, just because I had to spin it around and press it twice. So just keep that in mind when you're doing the full wraps and having to press it that second time, that some of the colors might get a little bit duller. Okay, but I hope that helps. Super fun. Such a great way to personalize, and like I said, you can design your own things and put names on things, teams, all sorts of things, and have fun with it. Okay, so anyway, thanks for stopping by. Make sure you hit that subscribe button below so you don't miss any videos, and happy crafting.